Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to give some unfiltered advice about what it's like to be an entrepreneur while working full-time. So I know social media, they've been glorifying entrepreneurship, saying it's easy, you don't have a boss, you work at your own terms, you can make more money, it's passive, it's great, right? But the reality is it's actually a grind and it's hard. Right? It's not easy at all, and it's actually harder than a W-2 job. So the more I've gone down the entrepreneur journey, like through my real estate business, right? Like I own 52 units of real estate at 1.90. So managing that is a full-time job in itself, especially when you're doing renovations, when you're trying to find off-market deals, make offers, underwrite the deals, talk to lenders, give documents to lenders, find a property manager, find a contractor, follow up with them every week, look at your financial reports, your profit and loss statements, right? There's a lot that goes into like managing a 52 unit real estate portfolio, and I do that on top of my W-2 job, right? So like I work a 9 to 5, but then the hours from 5 to 9, I'm working my real estate, and before 9 a.m., I'm working on my real estate business as well, right? And now, as my real estate got more stabilized, that's expanding now into, creating, social media. I'm doing coaching, I'm doing mentorship. I create a school community now. And eventually I want to become a real estate broker so that I could, start to sell real estate because the bar, I think it's just too low for real estate agents and real estate brokers. Like I think the bar is way too low, and I think it's an easy field to dominate. But as I, go through entrepreneurship, it makes me appreciate like my W-2 job more, ironically. Right. And why I say that is because in a W-2 job, like it's very stable income every 2 weeks. I know I'm getting like, $6,000 a month to take home after taxes, right? I get $6,000 every 2 weeks. You know exactly what day it goes in. Like it's like Wednesday at like 7 p.m. You open your bank account, you see your $6,000 in there, right? And you get your health insurance, you get your PTO, you get your sick leave, you get your holidays. But, you have to deal with all the work politics. You have to show up to your work Monday through Friday. You have to do assignments. You might have to work with people you don't like. You might have a mean boss. You might have a shitty commute, like whatever that looks like. But, that's the trade-off you make for stability, right? And then on the other side, if you're doing entrepreneurship, you own your own business, you're not guaranteed anything, right? Like in your W-2 job, whether you're a high performer or a low performer, as long as you don't get fired, you get paid the same. Right? In entrepreneurship, if you're a high performer, you'll make money. If you're a low performer, you'll go out of business, right? So you have to like hunt what you eat. In a W-2, you just get presented like food and you just have to do one task of that, right? Like you just have to like maybe chop up the fish and that's it, right? But in entrepreneurship, you have to catch the fish, clean the fish, cut the fish, then chop the fish, then prepare the fish. But in your W-2, you might just do one task of that, right? And money is not stable, right? Like, if the business is doing great, you make more money. If the business is doing poor, you don't make money, right? But when you work in a hospital, like regardless if the hospital is losing money, making money, I get paid every 2 weeks, guaranteed, right? I know exactly, Wednesday at 7 p.m. every 2 weeks, I get paid. I look at my bank account, it's there. So that's why I hate it when people complain about their W-2 job because I'm like, try being an entrepreneur. Like it's way harder and you will have no money and you don't have the skill sets to even do it. Right. So like you should be grateful for your W-2 job. And for me, I was in that bucket too. Like I was like, super entitled about my W-2. But as I went down entrepreneurship, I actually appreciate my W-2 more. And the more I've dived down entrepreneurship, it made me realize I need to extend my window for working at W-2 and all that. So, that's kind of the route that I went down. Basically I need more time because the way I view it is this. W-2 is money for today. This is what pays the bills today for Steven. This is what pays the mortgage today. This is what gives me food today. This is what pays for my vacation today. This is the money that I use to invest in other assets for the future, right? Whether that's investing in real estate for the future, whether that's investing in index funds for the future, or that's in life insurance for the future, or whether it's investing in a business that I'm building to build up active income to hopefully replace my current income. Right? So, because of that, like, and these businesses need time, right? Like I've been posting so many videos on YouTube and, I'm barely at like 3,000 subscribers, right? Like, most people, they just post like 10 videos and they're already at like 100,000, right? Like, so it takes time for these things. Like, all good things take time to build. It took me the first like 4 years of buying one single family home every like year and a half to start compounding, until finally year 4, I grew to like, 90 units. With YouTube, I imagine it's be the same thing. Maybe I'm going to have very stagnant growth for the first like 3, 4, 5 years, and all of a sudden I'm going to exponentially grow, or maybe I won't, right? And same with like coaching and mentorship. Like, that starts off slow, and then over time, maybe it's going to compound where I'm like one of those big people like Thatch or Pace, right? Where I have a huge community, and I grew a lot, but it's going to take time to get there. It's going to take money. It's going to take financial resources and time resources to get there. So until then, I have to work my W-2, right? If I want to become a real estate broker, selling real estate in itself, it's easy, but the hard part is just getting all the clients who are qualified and want to buy real estate or want to sell real estate, right? Like, that's the hard part, but the actual job itself, it's easy. But it's just finding the clients and then finding the serious ones. That takes time too, right? To build up that clientele. So knowing all that and knowing how long it takes, it's making me more patient, where before, by 35, I'm going to retire from my W-2. I'm 34 now, almost 35 actually, in March. And, my mindset changed completely, right? Like, I'm like, I have to extend this W-2 as long as I can, and as long as it makes sense, so that it gives my social media legway to compound. It gives my coaching and mentorship a runway to compound. It gives my real estate brokerage business a leeway to compound, and it's all connected, right? Like, obviously social media is the marketing funnel, which then in that funnel, I might have some people that want to do coaching and want mentorship. I might have some that want to join my school community. I might want some where they want to sell real estate or buy investment real estate when I'm a broker, right? So like, it's all a compounding vehicle, but it needs time, right? Like, it needs a lot of time. If you look at the best content creators now, they just been doing it for a long time, right? And they got better and better over time. And I hope to be the same. So knowing that, that's why I appreciate my W-2 job even more. And, entrepreneurship, it's like, you're not guaranteed. Like, I busted my butt off for, I think, 2 years in my mobile home park, and I came out of that losing $70,000, right? And versus some people, they just do the bare minimum at work and they make $70,000, right? I busted my butt off and I lost $70K, and I was stressed. Versus the same person can do the bare minimum at work. You know those people. They do the bare minimum at work. They just clock in, clock out, warm body. They got $70,000 for doing nothing besides showing up. Right? So like, it's really like, that's the difference. Like, are you willing to put the work in? And you have to have patience, and you have to be, living in the grind, in the dungeon. It's not glamorous at all. Like, it's not like Lamborghinis. Most entrepreneurs that have Lamborghinis and those Ferraris, they're just flexing because they're trying to sell you something, right? But as an entrepreneur myself, I know, like, okay, it doesn't make sense. I can obviously afford a Lamborghini and a Ferrari now, right? If I wanted to, Audi R8, I'm $6 million net worth, I could do it, but it just doesn't make sense because doesn't align with what I want to do right now, right? I'm trying to strive for financial freedom, and by buying a Ferrari or Lambo, it's going to hold me back from that goal unless I'm using it as a marketing strategy. But to me, that doesn't feel genuine, because that's not true entrepreneurship, right? True entrepreneurship isn't like just driving, a bunch of Lambos around. Like, yeah, once you made it through entrepreneurship, by all means, you could, drive a Lambo around. But until then, when you're actually in the grind, it's not glamorous at all, right? So at least the true entrepreneurship of the ones that become successful, it's just like, you put your head down, you do the work. It's not glamorous, it's stressful, ups and downs, nothing's guaranteed. That's the reality, right? That's the reality of it. Versus the W-2. So that's why I said you can do both. Like, that's what's amazing about this day and age, is I can do both. I can work a 9 to 5. I can, on the side, create content and do coaching and buy real estate, right? Like, this is the digital age. It's an amazing time, right? Like, back in my parents' time, you couldn't do that, right? Like, you couldn't just like create content and then people come to you, and then, if I wanted to be on TV or the radio, I had to pay. But now this is free. This is free marketing on YouTube, right? That more people watch YouTube than TV. So it's amazing, right? That's why I said, like, it's the easiest time to dominate. And then most people don't have the work ethic, right? Like, most people have terrible work ethic. If you can be consistent for a long period of time, you're already in the top 5%. And then if you're consistent and they start to have results from it, then you're already in the top 1%, right? Like, that's all it really is. So yeah, that's kind of my rant about, W-2 versus like entrepreneurship. And as I went through entrepreneurship, it made me appreciate my W-2 more. And I made me realize that I have to work my W-2 longer to give me that runway to build up my other businesses on the side, right? Like my real estate business, my coaching and mentorship business, my school community, my real estate brokerage business, right? Those I want to give a good runway. And once those are like taken off, then at that point I can slow off my W-2 job, right? But until then, I really appreciate that the W-2 job and the steady income and how it allows me to get extra money to like invest, right? So anyways, hopefully you found value from the video and from this huge rant I went on. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. If you want to join my school community and be around, like-minded individuals, I have courses in there. I have live Q&As once a week. If you want to join my mentorship program, Making Multifamily Money, check out the links down below. They're both down below. Or you can send me an email if you have any questions. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.